2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead.
Niko Avocado recently won the internet after unveiling his shocking weight loss transformation. But what he didn't know was that there were people waiting in the wings. People waiting to unveil how he manipulated and preyed on an innocent woman. It all kicked off back in late 2019 when Nicholas and Stephanie teamed up for a collab video. Now, before they hit record, Sue had apparently opened up to Nicholas about her beef with Veronica. That's when things got messy. Nicholas allegedly pushed her to spill the tea during their collab, but Sue wasn't too keen on doing that on camera.
I feel like the story happened a year ago, which it happened with Shookbug and Veronica Wang, and I never thought I'd be talking about this online, but here I am. That was kind of when Nick and I had our first interactions on a personal level through Instagram DMs. We spoke about what happened. From his side, it was more of him trying to clarify how I was involved or if I was involved, and also he wanted me to make a video on my side of the story. I had told him that I wasn't involved. I don't think I need to make a video. It was just back and forth of that. Not too long after, he asked me if I wanted to collab with him. I remember specifically being transparent with him and letting him know I don't want to collab just because I feel like the drama is too fresh. I feel like me being in a video with him would just stir things up again, and so for all those reasons I was transparent and I said no. From then we still didn't really have much communication up until August. He came to Los Angeles and he had asked if I wanted to collab, and for other reasons I turned him down. Now at this point I was like, you know, I still feel like I want to meet him in person. You know, if he's in LA, I also felt like I turned down 2 collabs, like let's meet. So I had set up this dinner with me, Zach, and Nick at Hot Pot. Honestly, immediately going in, I was nervous. I definitely had a guard up because I was like, oh, anytime we've talked before, he's just been asking nonstop about Veronica, and so I even went in with this gift of like a bottle of champagne and these macaroons because I wanted him to know that like, hey, I didn't say no to you in your collabs because I don't like you, you know? And so immediately when I met him, I could probably say that I was kind of taken aback by how comfortable he was. He just kept saying like, yeah, that's online. You can trust me.
Hopefully you can trust me now.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Then she went on to explain why she didn't want to share what Nicholas wanted.
So I started opening up, and obviously the conversation did lead to Shookbug and Veronica, and I feel like in any other situation I would never want to put this online, but because I feel like this is something that he's kind of holding over my head right now, kind of twisting my words, I just want to share with you some things that I shared with him. And it has nothing to do with Shookbug. And it is also another reason why I never made a video about this in the first place. Veronica and I have a very interesting relationship. She mentioned me in a video when I was so small, and she gave me a shout out, so that's kind of where our relationship started. And I just remember feeling like, oh my gosh, she gave me a shout out, and I just replayed that part where she said my name over and over again. I was like, oh my gosh. And she was always so encouraging. She always told me, you know, you're doing amazing, like don't give up, like you're doing great, sweetie. I'm just kidding. And even though all that happened, when we first met in LA, when we filmed all of our collabs, that was the first time we met in person. And I can say that we have very different personalities. We have, let me tell you some of the things I told him, because I feel like I don't want them to get twisted. But she was dyeing her hair pink at the time. And that pink hair almost killed me. That pink hair almost killed me. I was driving around town, like we were picking up hair dye. She canceled on a video because she wanted to dye her hair again. It was a lot. And these are things that I, like even now I'm like thinking, I was like, wow, that was annoying. And I'm sure she has things that she finds so annoying about me. But none of them had to do with Shookbug. None of them would clarify anything about Shookbug. It was just me and Veronica have weird personalities that maybe didn't match perfectly. I shared these little frustrations with him. It's nothing I would share online because I know how the internet works. I'm not gonna go and share every little frustration or annoyance that I have with every person.
During filming, Niko Avocado, Nicholas, kept nudging her to share more details, but Sue stayed hesitant. Fast forward to December 21st, 2019, and Sue dropped a bombshell video titled, "Why I Am Scared of Niko Avocado." In that video, she claimed Nicholas had been pressuring her to air the drama and even took pics of her home security system without her permission. How he broached the subject is chilling.
Before we filmed Nick's video, his first video, the talking mukbang, we were supposed to go to H Mart and then go back to his place so that we could film it. And we were in the car and the topic of what we were gonna talk about in the talking mukbang came up. And this is kind of when I first felt really uncomfortable because Nick said it very assertively, we're gonna talk about Veronica and we're gonna spill all the tea. And I was kind of confused because I was like, oh, whoa, what? And so I was immediately like, no. And then he went, but why'd you tell me yesterday that you wanted to then? And so I thought back to what happened yesterday, and prior to filming my mukbang for my channel, he had mentioned, you know, I think that we need to talk about shukbang because you know everyone's gonna be talking about it in the comments. And I don't know why I believed it. I said, oh yeah, I mean, I guess it's weirder if we just act like it never happened. And so I felt like I was comfortable mentioning shukbang, addressing it to the capacity of me and Nick. Yes, this is how we met, through a shukbang video, but we have no ill will towards each other. It's all over, we're friends now, you know. I felt like I would never tell him that I wanted to talk about Veronica and specifically spill the tea. It had always been about shukbang. Me and Veronica's relationship didn't involve Nick. And so I was just confused, and it got really awkward after I said, oh no, like I don't mind addressing shukbang, but that's it. And he just got silent, and I couldn't help but feel like he was really upset by that. And so I just remember, like, I was driving and I was like, this is so uncomfortable. Do I raise the music? Like, do I step on the pedal? What do I do?
Sue explained that she didn't want to say anything negative about Wang because she didn't hold any grudges toward her former friend. But after filming with Niko Avocado, she went home feeling absolutely miserable and drained.
I just need to do whatever I can to get through tonight and tomorrow, because we have collabs scheduled tomorrow, and just be done with it, because I don't want him to get angry. I don't want him to make a video using these words and trying to say all these things I said about Veronica. I just wanted to get through tonight. And that sounds crazy even to me. Like, me saying that right now, I sound crazy. Stephanie, you are 24, you should have got up and left. But I just couldn't. I was just so scared that I couldn't. And so the third video, I was like, okay, at least it's an ASMR video, it'll be fine. I remember even texting my dad at that time. I didn't even want to text my fiance. I was texting him really basic stuff, making it seem like I was fine. I was like, what you doing? Yeah, everything's great. On to the next video. And I knew that anything I say about being uncomfortable, or I don't want this, it didn't matter, because then he'd say, what you said. And I called my dad. And I was talking to him in Korean, and my dad was really concerned because we weren't really talking about anything serious, but I just wanted to sound as if I had gotten the worst news. And so I hung up with him, and you know, they both saw the conversation that I had. And Nick was like, are you okay? And I said, yeah, just a lot of really bad family stuff going on. I did this because I was so scared of him that I didn't even want to act differently around him. But at that moment, I was so shaken, I knew I couldn't be goofy right now. I couldn't be excited. And so I just needed a minute. Just try to shove down the need to cry and shove down all these hurt and scared and uncomfortable feelings that I had, because we still had a video to film.
The next day, she was supposed to film another collab with him, but she couldn't bring herself to do it. She ended up suffering from a series of panic attacks that left her completely exhausted and in poor health.
It didn't matter if I was uncomfortable. That night, I was really pushed into a really dark place that I never thought I would be in again. I had a breakdown, and it was unlike any other breakdown I had. It was one where I felt shame, guilt, because I did say I would talk about it. Didn't I? I don't know. He said I did. So I must have. And then this shame of, why did you even stay for the third video? Why did you even laugh with him? Why didn't you tell him, no, Nick, I don't want this. No. Why didn't you tell him no? After everything that's happened in the past, I told myself I would never, ever feel like that again. I would never feel like that again.
When she told Niko Avocado and Zach Choi, who was also part of the collab, that she couldn't make it because she was in and out of sleep, Niko Avocado didn't take it well. Instead of understanding, He basically told her she was a waste of his time.
I woke up, I'm not feeling too great. I think I have to cancel today because it was gonna be another 3-person collab day. For some reason, the thought of texting Nick at this moment, because I had missed calls and missed text messages from him, gave me this like I started getting very short of breath. And so I washed my face, and around 3:20, I texted them, and I'm just gonna go through just the whole thread of text messages. And so I texted them at 3:29 p.m. and I said, hey guys, sorry I've been in and out of sleep all afternoon after staying up late after getting back. I don't think I'll be able to film any collabs today. I'm feeling really sick, and I realized I had a few sponsors due before year end that are really time sensitive. I'm so sorry, I hope you guys understand, but I'm really happy that we knocked them out yesterday. And I put my phone down, I put it on silent, and these are the next messages I got. You just now realized? Stephanie, I have been sitting here for 5 hours. When you were going in and out of sleep, you should have picked up the phone and given me a call, not leave me hanging. You didn't like it when Veronica did that to you. So no, I'm sorry, I do not understand. I texted him back, I am so sorry for making you feel that way. I sincerely apologize. I was so drained and slightly out of it this morning, and I'm so upset I didn't call you back earlier because I would never want you to feel like I don't respect your time. Again, I'm truly sorry. And out of respect for our developing friendship, I do want to be transparent and let you know I was uncomfortable with yesterday's video. I'm so sorry if I let you think or miscommunicated in any way that I wanted to talk about Veronica, but I truly did not. I mentioned that I wouldn't mind addressing you and me as it pertains to Shookbug.
Sue also accused Niko Avocado of having a pattern of behavior. And it didn't stop there. He also threatened to expose her and claimed he had audio clips to prove she was in the wrong.
And then he posted a story with a black screen, making some tea, you guys. You won't believe the audacity people have, but I have lots of receipts and audio clips. Every time he texted me or called me, I feel like...
Naturally, Sue freaked out. She never gave Niko Avocado permission to record anything in her home. After a previous home invasion, she had installed a top-notch security system, so she went through the footage. To her shock, she saw Niko Avocado taking photos inside her house, specifically of her security system and other personal items, while she was out of the room.
And I went through all of Saturday when he was at my house. He was here for about 5-ish hours. And out of those 5 hours that he was here, I used the restroom once. And during that time that I slipped away to the restroom very, very quickly, the one time that I did, without letting me know what he was doing, he took multiple pictures inside my house. And then immediately he started looking around at the ceiling. I didn't have any cool light fixtures up there. Just don't know what else would be up there other than security cameras. Seeing that footage was shattering and so angering because after everything that he made me feel safe enough to tell him about, I told him about the one thing that I don't talk to anyone about anymore. And I don't know if I would be this alarmed if throughout our entire interactions, I feel like he had never had any good or even harmless intentions with everything that he did. The way that he did it during the 5 hours he was here, the minute that I slipped away to the restroom, you knew why I'm so paranoid. You know why I have such a hard time letting people into my home. It was a very violating feeling, and it was just something that I don't think I'll ever be able to understand. But again, I felt like, that was my fault. I felt like, yes, this is gross, yes, this is creepy, but really, it's your problem, Stephanie, because you have this trauma that maybe not a lot of people have. And maybe even though Nick knows about your trauma and knows how crazy you are about home security, maybe he doesn't really understand. And then I came across this.
She also went on to reveal how he continued to bully her online with his friends.
A lot that broke my spirits. Or I'm gonna get what I want. And I was telling them the story, and one of the inside joke from that story was in and out of sleep. And you don't understand, but then I told a few other YouTubers, I tagged them on Instagram, as well as my friends, and they all know. I was like, they know the story, and the major thing that they take away from that was the in and out of sleep.
In and out of sleep.
I've just been in and out of sleep, and I don't know what's going on, but I got things to do. I got things to do.
Have you been in and out of sleep?
I'm in and out of sleep. Oh my gosh. In and out of sleep right now.
They're like, what the That is the most obnoxious, bizarre thing they've ever heard. Like, what the...
Despite everything, Sue made it clear that she wasn't trying to ruin Niko Avocato's career. She just wanted to set the record straight. In a move to turn the situation into something positive, she released in and out of sleep merch and donated 100% of the profits to stomp out bullying. During that time, he kept uploading pre-recorded videos without really mentioning the situation at all. This left a lot of people feeling like he was just milking the drama for views.
Videos, knowing that everyone was clicking to see if you were responding to my video, posting this thumbnail of you eating Taco Bell, I'm not okay, and monetizing all of those. So when you do it, it's okay. When I do it to create merch, to donate, it's manipulation. I think that's very scary that you have a pattern of behavior of doing this, and when someone points it out, instead of maybe thinking about, oh, did I make her feel uncomfortable? Oh shit, well, let me just say sorry. I don't know how you tried to make it so much more elaborate, throw people under the bus in your video and blatantly lie in your video and try to assassinate my character and twist my words in your video so that you can push a narrative that I set you up.
I'm a real person. What I said to her is what I would tell you.
What you said to me is that, awesome, when would you like to schedule? But what you said to Zach was, I'm gonna expose her tonight. And then what are you telling your audience? Because these all sound like different things.
But that's not my fault. It's also a lie because where are those sponsored posts? All these time-sensitive posts. How many videos has she made on her mukbang channel?
I did have a lot of sponsored posts, but I also skipped a lot of days on my mukbang channel. It felt weird coming back quickly with a sponsored video, and so I've been holding it off. What's kind of frustrating is that if I don't post sponsored posts, Nick says she's a liar.
I already knew she was lying.
If I post them, Nick will say probably she's money hungry and she did this drama so she could get sponsorships.
When Niko Avocado finally dropped a video titled Re Stephanie Sue, he had a lot to say. He claimed that Stephanie had actually been the one showing off her furniture and begging him to take pictures of it. But here's the kicker. One of those photos showed her home security monitor, something that Sue said made her feel really unsafe.
And out of the few photos I took, they're only of the same room. The kitchen and the seating area. I didn't walk anywhere else and take any other photos. I wasn't looking around for suspicious things. I was admiring her furniture, admiring her. And she says, I don't have fancy light fixtures. I'm sorry, that's the first house I've been in that looks like that. This is a multi-million-dollar home. I was impressed. I was happy for you.
People pointed out the irony in his statements. I didn't take any photos, shows us the photos he took of her home. Then, on January 1st, 2020, Sue released what she said would be her final word on the situation in a video called How Niko Avocado Manipulated All of Us. In this one, Sue broke down emotionally, accusing Nicholas of lying and insisting she never agreed to discuss her issues with Veronica publicly. She went on to say,
unreleased footage that he refuses to release, where he interrogated me about Veronica, and in my home security footage where he took pictures without my consent, that he also refuses to give his consent for me to release. So at this point, I'm done talking about it. I don't want to do any more back and forth because this was absolutely ridiculous. All he did was contradict himself, bluntly lie, and twist and manipulate stories. Say whatever you want, boo-boo. I am done. I am no longer scared of you because all you do is twist things and lie. I think it's starting to show.
But just when you thought it was all over, the internet brought the drama back. Fans started connecting the dots when they noticed Niko Avocado wearing a panda mask in a recent video, just like the one Sue's partner used in his videos. Coincidence? Netizens didn't think so.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead. This has been the greatest social experiment of my entire life. It's alluring, it's compelling, it's gripping to observe all these unwell, disoriented beings roam the internet in search of stories, ideas, rivalries, where they feel encouraged and engaged, where they involve themselves with the stories and become a product of influence. Thirsty for distraction from time unspent, spoiling their minds yet stimulating them at the same time. It's brilliant, and it's dangerous. I feel as if I'm monitoring ants on an ant farm. One follows another, follows another, follows another. It's mesmerizing. It's spellbinding. All these little consumers, all of these lost and bored people. People consuming anything that they're told to consume. So I am the villain.
Can't help but notice that he calls himself a villain. Known for indulging in massive amounts of unhealthy food like spicy noodles, burgers, and fries, he surprised his 4 million subscribers by showing off a completely transformed physique. Turns out, he'd been posting pre-recorded videos for 2 years. While secretly working on losing weight, he dropped a staggering 114 kilograms, about 250 pounds, in those 2 years. So far, Perry hasn't spilled the secret behind his weight loss, but whatever the method, his transformation has grabbed everyone's attention and fueled heated discussions online. What do you think about Niko Avocado? Let us know in the comments below.